Hello, welcome to another diction class with Miss Yemi Ajagbe. Today we shall look at the invisible U sound. The invisible U sound. The U sound is invisible in some words, and invisible means it is usually not seen in the spelling of such words but can be heard in the pronunciations. Okay? So, for a simplified understanding, I have broken this down into two categories where we have the invisible O sound that might perhaps be unknown to us. Okay, so the first instance is when a word ends with the syllabic consonants BLE, CLE, TLE, PLE, okay, DLE, etc. Okay, so in such scenarios, you can be ascertained that you have the invisible U sound. Okay, that means you might not see the alphabet U in the spelling of that word, but when you pronounce it, the U sound is there. Okay, and that is why we have a word like APPLE. Okay, the last three alphabets of that word is PLE. Okay, and that is why we have that word as apple, apple. Okay, you can see that you can detect the O sound in that word. Meanwhile, when you look at the spelling, there is nothing like the alphabet U in it. Okay, so that is what we simply mean by the invisible O sound. All right, so a word like that in this part of the world, we might pronounce it as apostle. Okay, we should say apostle. So when we look at that word, even though it ends with TLE, you can detect the O sound, apostle. Okay, a word like able, a word like article, battle, Bible, candle, enable, middle, miracle, and so on. We have lots of that categories of words. Okay, the second category is when a word ends with the syllabic consonant, okay, that has a consonant followed by a vowel and then the consonant. Let me explain that better. When you see a word that the last three alphabets, okay, is a consonant followed by a vowel, then the last letter is the consonant L. You can be ascertained that in such word you have the invisible O sound. For instance, a word that's a word like NORMAL, we usually pronounce that as normal. Okay, if you look at that word, the last three alphabet is M, which is a consonant, followed by R, which is a vowel, then the consonant L. So such word, it has an invisible U sound. So we shouldn't say normal, we should say what? Normal. All right, so it's as simple as that. So a word that we usually pronounce as biblical should be what? Biblical. A word like hospital should be what? Hospital. Okay, global shouldn't be global, it should be what? Global. Dental, okay, should be dental. I am going to the hospital to see a dental doctor for my tooth problem. All right, so a word like chemical should be what? Chemical. All right, we have so many of those words. A word like legal shouldn't be legal, you should say what? Legal. Okay, it is legal to stay at home at this period. So we shouldn't say practical, you should say what? Practical. We shouldn't say total, you should say what? Total. And we shouldn't say medical, we should say what? Medical. All right, so we have so many other words that are very common. For instance, we shouldn't say capable. Okay, capable, we should say capable. All right, we shouldn't say capital. The capital of Nigeria is Abuja. No, we should say the capital of Nigeria is Abuja. All right, we have so many We shouldn't say facial, we should say facial. We shouldn't say hostel, we should say hassle. We shouldn't say identical, we should say what? Identical. We shouldn't say local, you should say local, local. All right. We shouldn't say political, you should say political, political. You shouldn't say purple. This is commonly said. You should say what? Purple. Right? There are so many other ones. We shouldn't say title. We should say title. All right? So many other ones. But for today, we would stop here. All right? Remember that you should always practice, as practice makes perfection. And also, do not forget that you should not only learn to speak, you should learn to speak right. Bye for now. Bye.